What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Guys of Texas. It is week 9. And boys, before we start the show, I need a little pep talk for everybody. Okay? Let's be clear. This was one game in the middle of the season. Georgia has had 3 losses in the last 4 years. Okay? This is not over. We still have plenty of opportunity to go to the SEC championship, plenty of opportunity to go to the playoffs, and plenty of opportunity to go to the national championship. Let everything go that happened last weekend. I still feel the exact same before this Georgia game as I do now. So we have some things to work on, but I need everyone to stop hitting the panic button and slow down and understand that we're just fine. When we were at the beginning of the season, we looked at the schedule and said, oh, that Georgia game might be a loss. So nothing has changed. Now we get to go to Vanderbilt. And at the beginning of the season, you definitely didn't have Vanderbilt, number 25, when we played them. So everyone take a deep breath. Let's enjoy the ride and let's watch some football. Okay?
Still feel exactly the same way?
I feel very similar. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I feel very similar. It was going back and looking at it, especially the second half, like we made a lot of adjustments that we needed. I understand why Quinn was pulled now a lot more, hearing the Sark interviews. Like I understand it more. Don't necessarily agree with it, but I still get it. I understand a lot more of like why Quinn got killed in the backside and fumbled the football. Like it's being able to digest it all and watching the game film and listening to the interviews. Like you kind of really understand a little bit more about why everything is happening. There is a lot to work on. Don't get me wrong, but again, Georgia's only had 3 losses in 4 years. So yes, we are a good football team still, though. That is not a question. It should not be a question. So let's continue on.
I heard somebody else with the perspective on the pulling Quinn thing that if Sark hadn't done that, the only conversation people would be having this week is that Arch needs to be the starter.
Correct.
I thought that was a really nobody liked. I mean, some people in our fan base liked it, but it was it's been a talking point. Why would he do that? But can you imagine how insane the fan base would be with Arch needs to start? Arch needs to start if we hadn't seen that small little taste of him in the game. Be like, Quinn just needs to get a little bit better.
When Quinn came back in at halftime, I looked at Jono as we're just full-blown pep rallying in the middle of the aisle. I was like, thank God Quinn's coming back in so everyone can shut up about Arch. Like it's now, while we're talking about it, Arch is going to have to – Quinn is going to have to figure out some things this week. He does have, I believe, a short leash this week. If he doesn't start fast, I think before halftime, they may pull him.
I agree.
It's just one of those, especially watching, I'm watching On Texas and watching all these guys talk about it. It's Quinn, I think, will be fine, but he did start seeing some demons after he got drilled in the back. Like that's when he really started getting happy feet, didn't step in the pocket. And that's what I was watching. I was sending a podcast and they were talking about that. They do a lot of recruiting for the NFL and they're scouts for the NFL. And they said that was the turning point, was when he got drilled in the back. And then all of a sudden he was making bad reads. He wasn't stepping up in the pocket. So he is going to have to figure it out this week. This is a do or die week, I believe, for Quinn for a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I was going back and I watched a good amount of the game again to kind of get a different perspective. And those schemes that Georgia was running up front was like nothing I've seen from a college team. This was like elite defense in the NFL type schemes. Their timing, the way they were bringing the blitz, the guys that were dropping back, the guys that were coming in were constantly getting changed around. You could tell their offensive line were sometimes double teaming on one guy. The confusion at the line was there. So seeing that kind of makes me wrap my head around it a little bit more. But, I mean, I just have to look back at how Georgia got popped by Bama in the first half of their game, and Bama exposed Georgia's weakness completely. I kind of see it with the same thing as us. Georgia exposed our weaknesses, and it's better we figure that out now instead of way long down the road. We got it out of the way now. We know what we got to work on. That offensive line, man, I'm so ready to see how they come out this week. I think they're going to come out being out physical than everybody else on the field. I mean, I'm just ready to see them respond to getting kicked in the face a little bit with Georgia. So, but yeah, man, seeing the scheme that Georgia was running, that was pretty wild to see actually on TV. It was a little bit different watching it in person.
Yeah.
I think that one interception where he was throwing to Golden and just the corner just turns right back in to pick that ball, and then you see Gunnar Helm just clear running open. At first glance, you're like, oh, where's that read? But then you look at the way he's giving the read of man defense when he turns his hips and then just blitz right back in to jump in front of that ball. And it was a split-second decision. Quinn just wasn't going to be able, unless he already knew that was coming, he wouldn't have been able to read that. Georgia played incredible defense. Now, the other thing is they already played their big game with Alabama first. Like, that was our first big game of the year. We hadn't played a game like that since Washington. So we're about to see now what we're really made of. And I think we got a good test coming up this week, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's a super difficult test, but it is going to be a test with Pavia and everything. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but Georgia already had that test. Can you hear Binks?
Yeah.
I'm just meowing.
So let me in, man.
He wants on. This is Binks, everybody. The orange cat. He's finally made the podcast. I'm gonna let him out.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how we respond, though. I mean, this is where you're going to get a chance to see what this team's really made of right now, because we did make adjustments in that second half and did look better. Watching it back, we had some opportunities there for sure to make this a one possession game in the third quarter. If we would have just had a little bit different play calling in certain moments, but. Yeah, I'm excited to see how we respond, man. Vanderbilt's tough. I mean, we've seen them play all year. I feel like every game they played has been a tough game. So,
what are you laughing at, Seth? I want to know what you know. You can say it.
Nothing, man. We can talk about it later.
All right, fine. Another thing this week that is bothering me is the fact that Longhorn fans have turned into Dallas Cowboy fans. I'm a fan of both. So you guys don't know what it's like. Welcome. With the quarterback controversy, everything. This is what it's like to be a Dallas Cowboys fan every single year. And it doesn't matter who's a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. It's the same thing. And it's just, and everybody, if you're not a Longhorn fan, they hate you. So same with the Dallas Cowboys. I live a dual team football life, and they're the exact same team. Only one's college, one's NFL.
Yeah.
So, only the Dallas Cowboys have a way better kicker than Auburn, but
Auburn hate.
Dude,
when we started this podcast and you had a speech, I thought you were going to be talking about Harding or something like that.
Oh no, sorry.
I was waiting for it.
Like, well, unfortunately, they let me down this weekend. It was 17-13, I think the score was. They dropped to number 6. Still in it for the playoffs. They'll be just fine. It's a very difficult team to defend. So my Longhorns go down, and the Harding Bison go down. It was a rough weekend. At least the Cowboys didn't play, because honestly, I was done watching. I generically watch on Sunday. I generically watch football.
Yeah,
it's just not. And I'm not looking forward to the World Series right now, so I'm going to go watch. I mean, tonight last year, we smoked the Astros in Game 7 to go to the World Series. So that's a positive today for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Celebrate your anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's been a very special treat to watch my Facebook memories pop over and over every day for the last couple of weeks. So
I've been seeing you busy on Twitter there, man.
Oh yeah, getting a little feisty on on Twitter a little bit. It's been fun.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. It's tough to keep up with that stuff, dude. Like, I don't know how these people do it. Like, day in, day out, they're just on it all the time. And it's difficult. Like, and it's especially after a loss. It gets pretty hairy pretty quickly. So you just got to take with the punches. I've posted some YouTube shorts, and I've been getting it pretty good from people that are just dumb, that just want to come in. They haven't said anything all year, and all of a sudden they want to talk about my score prediction, which is perfectly fine. Still stand by it. So one guy said, what would he say? He said, make big prediction, foot and mouth, rinse and repeat. And I was like, no rinse, just repeat. Just put that foot right back in. You'll see Johnny Football also was not a fan of pulling Quinn.
I didn't actually read the article, but I saw the headlines that he had something to say about it. It was just a bad decision.
Basically the same thing. He said you kind of ruin everything with your confidence in a quarterback once you do that. So listen, you got Johnny Football. We're about to play Johnny Football 2.0.
Who's taking their advice from Johnny Football?
I mean, that wise, I would. I don't know. Like, I mean, football wise, he was decent in college at least. I mean, partying wise, not going to take that advice. But
you think his coach took his advice?
No, of course not. Other news: Vince Young and Barry Switzer were named members of the SEC Legends class. What a wild move.
Yeah, what in the world?
Like the picture that they posted, they had Vince Young and they photoshopped out the Big 12 logo on his jersey. Like, what do we do? Like, why? Like, that's the last thing I think of when I think of SEC football is Vince Young and the Rose Bowl.
That's why they really wanted Texas. They want to add Vince Young to their Hall of Fame.
Exactly. Yeah, they're trying to add more trophies and inductees. And Barry Switzer, like that's from Oklahoma. Who you're going to bring in is Barry Switzer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I wonder what the mindset behind that is. Like,
I'm sure it came with a package deal of signing to come over to the SEC of some sort. Like, hey, we need to get somebody in that. Which that's a wild move if Texas decided to do that. But
that's strange.
Very, very odd.
Yeah, it just does not fit.
All right, let's get into the game. Number 25, Vanderbilt.
You gonna skip over
what?
The craziness of?
Oh,
I was at a work meeting and come out to 15 texts from you guys saying that Quinn's not playing.
So Jono sent it to us first. Apparently 247 Sports somebody decided to post a screenshot that Quinn Ewers is going to step aside from college football and focus on the draft in the NFL. All hell broke loose on social media the second that hit. It was deleted immediately. And then 247 Sports came out a little later. It was like, oh, we got hacked. Like the graphic was made. Like, that's kind of a wild thing to. If I'm hacking a company, I'm not sure that's what I would post of all things. The graphic was made.
You wouldn't.
I mean, if you're an Aggie, yeah, sure. But I mean,
they don't know how to use computers, though.
They know how to mow a yard, though.
What do you mean the files?
The farmers. Dude, that was a very stressful time for 15 minutes of my life. Like I'm sitting there, like I'm at work trying to look at everything. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? Guys are asking me stuff at work. I'm like, not now. I'm just continuing to try to figure out what is going on. Quinn posted. What did Quinn post? I can't remember what it was.
Fake news from Trump.
Yeah, fake news. Yeah.
Dude, I went through so many levels of emotions just as I went through y'all's text messages. Like, the world is ending. Quinn's a backstabber. And then, like, settling back down at the bottom end. Like, oh, this is fake news. Like, there was so much. I'm just sitting there in my truck, like, freaking out. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, stop putting politics into my football. That's what I don't need right now. It's I just man, it just goes to show, and that thing hit like a wildfire. Imagine Quinn right now. Like he's already dealing with a loss from Georgia. He knows he didn't play well. He knows he's got to get a lot better quick. And then you got this happen, and his phone is just his phone blew up, and he's like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. Well, they said he had already practiced for the day. Can you imagine like his teammates like seeing that on their phones and be like, "What in the world?"
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was a good hack, whoever did it.
Dude, it was like the exact template too that 24/7 uses too.
Yes.
So it looked like legit.
I mean, I'm not so sure this wasn't an inside job here. Maybe a little
publicity stunt.
Boost, maybe a little booster throwing in hey, we want Arch in there, so let's go ahead and feed the fire a little bit. You never know. Not accurate. I'm just look at devil's advocate. That's all I'm saying.
Could be. Glad it's not true.
Those dang Texas boosters.
So now we'll move on. Look at I still think that's why Arch came in a little bit. I still believe.
Yeah, I do too.
Just a little bit. That's why Arch came in that second quarter. Someone rang the bat phone, I believe. That's hearsay. Don't post that anywhere, please. So now we'll get to the game.
I got a friend who knows somebody at the University of Texas, and he told me.
Yeah. Sharks lost the locker room. He's boozing on the bottle again. We need to start looking at Texas message boards after losses like this. I don't even watch message boards very much, but I'm interested to see what the old fans are saying about that. Vanderbilt number 25 versus number 5 Texas.
Yep,
that's correct.
This is the 13th time that Vandy and Texas have played. Do you know when the last time that Vandy and Texas played?
I'm going to say 1957.
Whoa, really? Okay. I was going to put it in the 70s. I'll say 1976.
1928.
Holy crap.
The last time. They are 8-3-1. 8-3-1 against us.
Wow.
Apparently, we used to play in Dallas. We played them in Dallas for whatever reason. So
was the original Cotton Bowl?
Yeah, I guess that's the. I don't know, but most of the times was either in Nashville or in Dallas. I don't know enough about Texas history to understand why we're. I guess that was our Red River.
Yeah,
just kind of it was our Mississippi River rivalry. So Diego, that when I saw that stat, I was like, that's wild. Let's see what else. Diego Pavia, quarterback, not your normal quarterback. He 1,391 passing yards. He's only thrown one interception this year, and he also has 420 rushing yards. It's the he leads the
team. Yeah,
leads the team in rushing yards. Vanderbilt is a game clock killer. They love to kill the clock. And so it's going to be very important for Texas to come out strong very early and not play to their hand there. But what are you guys taking out of Vandy?
I always listen to podcasts and everything. I thought it was interesting. I think it's probably going to be the most interesting part of the matchup is they are the number 8 team in the country for converting on third down.
I saw that, yes.
And UT is number 10 at third down defense. So, like, the matchup of those two coming against each other is going to be, my thoughts, the most interesting part of the game because it's going to dictate the clock management and then also how long our defense is on the field. I think we got the bigger bodies and should be able to handle that, but after last week, it's really just interesting to see how we bounce back in that way. So they are good. I think there's a little bit of Johnny Manziel, little Johnny football in Pavia. He's got that same instinct of scramble it, like just mad scrambling and figuring something out. We have the speed on the edge to try to keep up with him, but I'm really curious if we can contain in the middle because it seems like he escapes up the middle quite a bit. So I like it. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the defensive line, the linebackers matched up against Pavia. Obviously, we're going to be running the spy again. I would anticipate just like we did against OU and a couple other teams this year. So seeing how Anthony Hill plays, Colin Simmons plays when they're matched up, because obviously we're going to try to limit Pavia as much as possible. Because man, if you look at the stats for them, he is their offense. I mean, all around, and their top receiver is a tight end. So just seeing their style of offense, it's going to be a different style of offense that we've seen all year. So I'm anxious to see that, and then I'm just anxious to see how our offensive line comes out in this game. Like I mentioned before, really hoping they come out and punch them in the mouth and really assert their dominance and show that. I mean, we have 2 offensive linemen that are projected in the first round of the draft. It's like the talent's there. We got the guys. We know we got the line. It's just they got punked last week. So I'm hoping they come out and play angry and just dominate that line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
I hope that's the sentiment of the whole game is just play angry and just just get yourself right and don't let up the entire game. I hope that's the mentality the whole way through.
Makuba is out for possibly week to week. Williams is out for the season.
I saw Makuba was listed as questionable. Is it?
Yeah, so not confirmed, but it's from what I have seen, it's very questionable whether or not he actually does come. I think they're probably going to move Jade back a little bit, and then allow him to rest, get Makuba to rest. But Williams is out for the season.
Right.
So that's going to be a big blow to the safeties. I didn't realize Taft played all snaps last game. Yeah, he went the whole game playing every snap. So we're going to need the same thing out of him. They've been talking about rotating Jade back a little bit. But we'll see on defense wise. We should be fine there. Jade was.
I mean, isn't Jelani McDonald supposed to be stepping up for Makuba?
Yes. Yeah. Well, that will happen also. So it's going to be kind of a tandem. It just kind of depends on the matchup and where the game takes it. But Jade, just also FYI, was the first Longhorn with 2 picks in a game since Deshaun Jameson accomplished that against West Virginia in 2019. So he had a really good game last week. I think, number one, did you see the picture that the Vandy media is posting that they have installed large netting across the visitor sidelines?
I couldn't tell if it was
it's 1,000% fake. Okay. There's no shot. They've been building that end zone for 20 years. There's no shot in 3 days they put that net up.
I kept thinking, there's no way this got to be a troll, but I was like, dude, these articles look legit. Nobody's calling it out.
I mean, realistically, every game at Vanderbilt, the away team fills up that entire side, not half the side that it's already on. No. So, no, it is fake.
I would love it if they had done that. That would be great.
Let's be clear here. It was the student section. It wasn't like the normal fans throwing stuff on the field. So let's all calm down a little bit. No, we don't agree with it, but it wasn't like the entire state of Texas in the stadium was throwing stuff on the field. That's literally why Sark walked right to the corner where all the student section was, including old big-haired boy,
helmet hair.
That poor guy. And apparently now he's taking a stride. He wants to do a collaboration
with the guys of Texas.
No, yes and no. No, actually, Hawk Tua Girl. He wants to do her podcast. And who else?
There.
It was Matthew McConaughey. He wants Matthew McConaughey to cut his hair and like donate it for a cancer thing. Okay. So yeah, it's like okay.
Totally.
I mean, hey, not mad at it. It's easy hustle right there.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll probably happen now. So. But no,
You're missing the point, TJ. They put players' safety at risk. Okay,
bro.
Did you see how fast they were throwing those water bottles?
I did.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Barely make it. Yeah.
They were trying to steal it. Right? They were trying to steal the game.
Yeah. It's crazy how much they're crying. Like there was a guy on Twitter. He's a radio guy in Georgia, and posted literally a clip crying about the SEC network and how they were showing the game. They showed the fact that they called pass interference, and then they skip across everything and just show the fact that they overturned the call. And he's mad they didn't show anything about the bottles and stuff being thrown in the field and was crying about this. I scrolled through his Twitter feed. I was like, interesting. So you can make your own clip about this, but you can't make a clip about how your coach is just shoving players.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, actually, I talk about it on my punt pass, whatever podcast it is." It's like, fella, you're just doing it for clicks. Okay, quit crying. All right, you won the game. This is what Georgia's the same as Alabama right now. Like they have nothing to talk about because they win all the time, and so they literally just start doing this for clicks. It's like, okay, like
I was kind of hoping we'd get a Kirby impersonation again during that feel you had there.
Oh, my favorite one right now is we're not coming here. We're not coming here to take pictures. We're here to play football. And the whole time that he's saying that is in the start of the Georgia movie that they're literally taking pictures and film of their football team. So don't sit there and tell me you're not here to take pictures when you literally have a full camera crew following you, bud. I can't wait. I will this whole hat off this SEC championship when we play them again and we beat them. I will be breaking that one out for old Curb.
I can't stand listening to him, and he's so woe is me.
Oh,
about
dude,
everything.
it's like, they tried to give away the football game. It's like, okay, Kirby, shut up. You won, dude. Shut up.
Uh-huh.
I can't stand Kirby Smart. He's such a clown. Back to the football game at hand. I do think Texas, I mean, they're going to be able to handle this game. It's a good step back game for them to be able to settle back in. Vanderbilt is a good football team. They're going to test us. But offensively, they don't do a whole lot. They just really just bleed that clock the whole time. And they did see Mississippi State in the first half have, I think it was 22 minutes that they had the football. Mississippi State did the first half against us. So they saw it can happen. But at the end of the day, it's going to be just fine. They offensively, they are good, but they're not explosive. So I think the defense will hold up just fine. It'll be a good game for Quinn to get his feet settled back underneath him. I think everyone will step up and play the football that we have been playing. You don't get to talk about the cupcake schedule because Vanderbilt's ranked 25th. So this is another fun fact. Week 9, there are 2 teams that will have played 4 ranked teams so far this season. Texas is one of them. Who is the other?
That's played 4
ranked teams this year through week 9. This will be their 4th game playing a ranked team. You guys are going to hate me for doing this stat for this team.
Arkansas?
It is Arkansas.
It is Arkansas. I was going to guess Kentucky, but
I was like, it's got to be an SEC school.
Yeah.
There are only 2. There are only 2 that have played 4 currently ranked SEC or currently ranked teams on the season. So that whole cupcake schedule right now is going out the window. Florida's all of a sudden playing football again somehow. I don't know what's up with them. And then we've got Arkansas. I'm telling you, that's the one that's making me a little nervous now. They're not a great football team. They're just his
second favorite team.
And that's not my second favorite team. I'm just saying that's the one. I just have PTSD from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, however long it was. I have PTSD from that. Like it just going to that game and just watching it unfold. Now we don't have Casey Thompson and who was the other quarterback? Casey Thompson and Hudson Card. Oh, yeah, yikes! He's still playing football. My God. Well, kind of. He's on the bench
Casey
again.
Thompson on the bench at Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bizarre.
The 3rd string quarterback.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if he would have come out and just slang it against us, dude?
Yeah.
Holy smokes! I didn't realize he was over there. Oh my God. Oh, no, I'm excited for this game. I do think it'll be a bounce back. So, what is your? You guys have anything else for this game?
No, but maybe I do, but I did want to jump back. How crazy is it that Hudson Card, Casey Thompson, and Cam Rising all still playing college football?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially Cam Rising, dude.
Cam Rising
Yeah.
is able to come back again next year.
For another one.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. How many years is that? Is it 7 or 8?
8.
8 years.
8.
Yes.
It says his 8th year of eligibility because of COVID, and then he had
His injuries.
This will be his 3rd season-ending injury.
Well, didn't Casey Thompson and Cam Rising come in at the same time? I thought they were in the same class together.
Yeah, that's a good question. I have to look that one up.
That's what piqued in my mind just now that they're both still playing because I thought they were the same recruiting class.
Yeah, no, he was. They've got to be done this year, but Rising was allowed to play one more year now. It's just bonkers, dude. Like I don't imagine like he actually goes off and just gets drafted in the NFL or even undrafted, plays 1 year, and then has to retire because he's so old already in the NFL. Like it'd be unheard of.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anything else for the Vanderbilt game?
I mean, one of you guys wrote it down as a note on here, but it is very true. We just have a tendency to come out starting slow.
Yes.
And we really need to break that tendency, and I'm hoping the fire that's being lit under the guys this week makes that become a reality. Just come out of the gates really swinging hard. It couldn't be any more disappointing if we show up at Vandy and just have a slow start again. So I really hope we get the ball rolling right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
Player, let's do. What player are you watching this week? Who are you watching to step up this week? And we're going to leave Quinn out of this because that's a guaranteed. We're leaving that one out. We're all on the same page on that one.
Right. John, I'll go for it.
You want me to go in?
Yeah.
I got a couple of guys I'm looking at to bounce back and respond. Looking at a running back room, Wisner, Blue. I'm looking to see those guys step up, be efficient in the backfield. But like I mentioned earlier, one matchup that I'm really looking forward to this week is Anthony Hill. I think he's going to be playing spy most of the game. He'll be all over the field, defensive line, edge, linebacker, you name it. He's going to play all over the field. So I'm excited to see him play this weekend. So, yeah, I'll say Anthony Hill.
I'm having a hard time picking a single player.
I have two.
I keep picking like units. Like obviously the O-line needs to step up, but a specific player without naming Quinn. Jono kind of called the running back room, but Trey Wisner, he had a rough game, getting bumped around, took some hard hits, dropped passes, all of that.
He was wearing a green shirt today in practice, just FYI. So he is good to go currently. Okay. So
he's going to be the one that I'm probably most focused to see if he has improvement this week, if he has a bounce back game. So, yep.
So I do have two. One is going to be Blue on the other side, making sure he's getting his touches. Let's see what he can really do again. Let's see those flashes from the first few games that we had from him. My second one's Isaiah Bond. Been kind of quiet. That deep ball, I don't know if something's happened with Quinn where he's just hesitant to throw that deep ball, if he's hurting or what. That hasn't happened much, but just Isaiah Bond and actually being able to get open and get some yards. Like he really hasn't been involved a whole lot. Obviously he had his touchdown pass and his 2-point conversion. But we were expecting a lot more from him, to be honest, from now. He was supposed to be the guy to really step up, and he has. Don't get me wrong, we are spreading the ball out, but I want to see a little bit more from him. See what we can really do, get him to break out a little bit more.
Yeah. I considered him. I was thinking about him as the player, but considering he had half of our points from last week.
Well.
Yeah, you are right. We all expect more out of him than that.
Yes. Especially at the end of the game last week. Like, I guess he was sidelined. I guess he was injured still, but he just kind of disappeared.
Speed team. Man.
Yeah, and I know that's the problem. We were supposed to be fast, and no one's going to be able to catch us. Well, doesn't really matter as long as they're fast on the front line and can get to Quinn in time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just throw it to the moon. Wait for the guys to get there.
Yep. All right, let's get to other game. Anybody else have anything for this game?
I'm good.
Okay. let's go to Saturday morning matchups. What games you like in the Saturday morning matchups? Is there anything on Friday that's any good? Oh yeah, Boise State UNLV. That'd be fun to watch. 9:30 game. Come on.
Yeah, I
Trying
was
to
about
get
to
a
say
bed,
that.
man.
Too old for
That
these
one,
West Coast teams, man.
yeah, USC at 10 o'clock on Fox.
Oh yeah.
As far as
Friday night.
Saturday morning, man, I'm excited. Notre Dame Navy. I'm excited to see Navy finally get tested here and see what they're made of. See, Notre Dame's been playing really well since their loss, so I think that's going to be a super intriguing matchup. They got Notre Dame favored by 13 currently.
Yeah. I really like the Nebraska Ohio State game. Not that I necessarily think it's going to be close, but the fact that OSU is a minus 25.5 point dog. And
Yeah.
I want to see if Nebraska has a little bit of bounce back in them after just getting destroyed last week.
Yeah, they got thumped.
Yeah, so I think that'll be a fun game to have on in the morning. And then also the Ole Miss Oklahoma. I'll watch anybody beat down Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah, that's man. Watching South Carolina last week, first 5 minutes, 5, 6,
Dude.
7 minutes of the game, they're down 3 scores already. It's like, oh no, no,
At home, dude. Oh, that's
and
embarrassing.
just couldn't happen to better people. Let's see. I'm gonna take. I'm avoiding the one that screw
Yeah,
it. Screw
say
you
it.
guys.
Say
Screw you
it.
guys.
Say
Arkansas,
it.
Mississippi State. I actually think this is going to be a tough game for Arkansas. I think Mississippi State may play them pretty well here. They've been playing decent football. They've been playing a lot better football. Mississippi State's been playing a lot better football than what everyone's been giving them credit for.
I agree.
Late. So
they have been. They've been fighting every game.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game to actually watch. Screw you guys, man. Like, I'm sick of it. All right.
You just got to box him in every time and just steer him there.
Let me just guess. Oh, what do you know? We're going to both make the playoffs and play each other for in the playoffs like last year with Seth Washington? No? Okay, then. Shut up. All right. I picked a team that I know is not going to be in the playoffs.
You brought this on yourself, man.
I know. Afternoon games. What afternoon games do you like? There's one big one.
I'm intrigued by the Illinois-Oregon game. I think Illinois has actually been playing really good. They haven't really gotten much attention because it's Illinois, and we know how the number one team, that title being number one. We've seen it the last 3 to 4
weeks. We played
weeks.
Georgia. Let's be fair here. Like it's.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Quack quack.
Being number one, if you're held to a different standard, obviously. So Oregon. Yep. With some pressure being number one now, I know they're sitting at home midday game, but kind of intrigued by that matchup.
Yeah, I wish that game was in Illinois.
Yeah,
competitiveness to it. That'd be a really fun game. I know most people would probably pick the big game, but I'm gonna say BYU UCF at UCF. UCF is favored -2. And I'm riding with BYU right now, so that'll be fun to watch.
Obviously, I'll just talk about this one. There's Alabama, Missouri. I don't know why Alabama's -16.5 in that game. Like,
right.
Yeah, it seems steep.
Some of these lines
crazy. Like, I don't know. Alabama, man, DeBoer has just absolutely demolished that football team single-handedly in like 7 games. Did you see the coach talking about how there's nothing that happens on the field that we don't practice?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
then
weird.
go play basketball. Like, I don't understand. That guy. We'll segue into this before we go into any more. Hot seats. I feel like DeBoer.
We're segueing right now.
Might as well segue right in the middle of it. DeBoer is.
Yeah.
No, get out of here.
Alabama fans, dude.
They're gonna go 1-9.
They're as bad as Texas fans.
If they lose this weekend to Missouri, absolutely.
Oh, dude, they lose to Missouri. Ooh.
I don't think there's a chance. First year after having the greatest coach, of course your fan base is going to freak out, but your administration but calm down.
Not when you start losing players in the portal and all that.
Yeah.
You got once the decommits happen, all that, then all hell's breaking loose. Like, oh, wait a minute, we're supposed to be this big bad wolf. Well, your time is done, Alabama. Um,
I'm going
I
to
feel
give the
like-
obvious one here, Lincoln Riley.
Oh,
What
that's
is
the
going?
obvious one. Okay.
What is going on at USC through last year into this year? This was supposed to be the offensive guru that led Oklahoma to multiple Heisman winners and offensive stats, and now he's went to USC and it just hadn't been there for him. So,
Dude, I heard some other folks talking about that earlier today, and obviously they're not naming names, but apparently there's a big rumor mill going around that he is on the hot seat.
That's
Where,
crazy.
like, what do you actually think would happen to Lincoln Riley if he did get fired at USC? Does he drop back down to a coordinator, or does he get a lower level head coaching job?
I think he drops back
Like the
down.
Cliff Kingsbury route, like an
Yeah.
elite OC, or does he go smaller school?
I mean, there is a team looking for an OC right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, how crazy would that be, dude?
Back in Oklahoma. That's wild.
Speaking of Oklahoma, I don't know how you guys haven't mentioned that one. That is the hottest of hottest seats right now. Like Venable is just straight in hell right now. Everyone
Fire hose is
losing
fully
it,
inserted.
dude. I mean, that's a wave pool at this point. The fire hose is gone. Like it is just full on drowning. I don't know. Like firing the OC, everyone's still they're back and forth on Twitter now. Like, oh, this is the move we needed. We'll be fine. And the other ones were like, there's no saving this.
Yeah,
Like,
how does
at all.
firing fix it mid-season?
And at the same time, like, look at your football team, like right now. Like, your offense sucks. Like, it's terrible. Now they're going back to Arnold this week, so maybe that may help a little. But there's not a lot of wide receivers in the world that would help that football team right now. I don't care if your best wide receivers are out or not. Also, there is one more, and you guys are going to hate me even more. But Sam Pittman is definitely on the hot seat as well.
Yeah.
Like,
And I feel like they've been, not
yeah,
to take
not
your thunder
Arkansas
here, but
standards.
not
like,
extremely
they
hot.
They
but
put up a good fight this year. I wouldn't consider him a hot seat contender, but maybe their fan base is that way.
If they win this week and next week, I think they play Tennessee next week. Let's see. They're gonna have to win out, like pretty much. Yeah, they play Ole Miss next week. Yeah, so I mean, Ole Miss, Texas, Missouri. You lose to those three and get a win against La Tech. I think he's done. We
how
can
about
find out in a couple weeks when we have Jake on too.
yeah, that's true. How about freaking Billy Napier was? It seemed like hours away from getting let go in Florida, and then all of a sudden he's caught some momentum, and now Florida looks like they're going to be a bowl team this year when they look like they were going to be. But regardless, I still think that job opens at the end of the season.
He's still done. Like,
I'm still saying Lane Kiffin ends up at Florida at the end of the year.
Hugh Freeze also at Auburn.
Yeah,
he's recruiting really well. Depends on that situation. If he's bringing in a lot of really good,
I don't know. Like the beginning of the year when he started blaming his players for everything was really weird. Like, there's a point where you start losing your locker room like that. So
Neil Brown at West Virginia, also he's back on the hot seat.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Jeff Lebby, no. I think I saw a report that they were going to keep him. They're happy with the direction they're going, at least. You watch what's Brandon Walker. His only excuse is that their coach died 18 months ago.
Right.
It's like, okay, Brandon, like we get it, but like,
we talked about last week also, Mike Gundy.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
He's the weirdest one just because he's such a fixture of that university.
I don't.
Yeah, I just can't imagine seeing somebody else on that sideline. I mean, it's been Gundy for as long as I can remember.
Right.
Since at least he was 40 and he was a man. Like, that's the last I remember of him. So, I heard a report that I don't remember who it was. I think it was On 3 that was looking at predicting that Mizzou's Eli Drinkwitz goes to Florida. That'll be interesting. Lane
That'll be
Kiffin loses
interesting.
another one. He gone.
Yeah, it just has that feeling.
Yeah.
And then, of
Uh,
course, a lot of these Texas sites are saying Sarkisian's on the hot seat already by losing.
My good
Oh,
God.
yeah, no. Okay.
See opening
Word.
statement. All right. What other? Let's see. Let's go to. So Alabama, Mizzou. What in the world just happened here? All right.
Night slot.
Night slot.
It's
Random shout out to the 4 o'clock game. Did you see Louisiana Monroe is undefeated since losing to us?
No.
They are currently 5-1 on the season, with their only
Going,
loss being to Texas.
they're going to play
Wow.
Major Applewhite.
Yeah,
Nice.
going against Major. I randomly came across that earlier.
Oh, dude. You want to talk about a beatdown? There's nothing that is going to destroy Florida State. The state of Florida's already had a hurricane, but the Miami Hurricanes are going to be coming in this weekend, and they are going to dismantle that football team. They have been looking forward so long for this that it is going to be ugly.
Yeah, in Miami, night game.
Miami's
been
minus
so
21.
long since Miami's been good like this. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. I still think they've just been skating by, but don't worry. Of course, I don't think my SMU ponies are going to be able to make it if Clemson keeps playing the way they are.
No. We're back in it. I think that night game, I mean, it's probably, the biggest game of the night? LSU,
Yeah.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game to watch,
Oh, yeah.
and that's going to be a lot of dictating of A&M wins. We beat A&M. We went out and beat A&M. We're going to the SEC championship,
Yeah.
which is going to be wild. Even if A&M loses, they're going to still be playing for that SEC championship spot. Possibly there because LSU. That's the thing. Is if A&M wins, they have South Carolina, New Mexico State, Auburn before us. If LSU wins, they have where's that game? Alabama right after, Florida, Vanderbilt, and then Oklahoma with a free win. Although Oklahoma, that'll be their last game of the season, so they'll probably play all out for that game as well. So they're not going to go to a bowl game. So
A&M needs to lose tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to lose.
I'm not on this narrative of have them be as good as possible before we beat them. No.
I'm not on that narrative either.
They need to lose.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I want that game to be something. Now, if they lose, that's fine. It'd still be something because they're going to, if they win out, they're still going to try. Like if they beat us, that gets them in, I believe. Actually, no, I bet you Georgia. Yeah, it'll be Georgia LSU if LSU wins out, but they still got a gauntlet to go through. Also,
Yeah, they got a lot.
I don't know. I'm going to enjoy seeing what A&M actually has with their quarterback situation. See if they've actually figured something out. This will be a good test, and LSU see if they're actually worth anything because I mean they squeaked by a couple of those games this year already. You should have 2 losses by now at least, and so we'll see. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Another game that I'm looking at that I feel like could be a trap game for them is Penn State at Wisconsin. Wisconsin would be a tough stadium to go into. Penn State has Ohio State next week. It just has that feeling like Penn State hasn't really proved themselves yet to be up there, and I feel like they could get caught looking ahead at that Ohio State game. So, and Wisconsin's played well.
On top of that, Penn State is pissed for that Ohio State game, getting that 11 a.m. kickoff.
The old big noon.
The old noon. That is ruining college football. Like they've got to get rid of the noon. There is no primetime noon game. You look at the NFL. That's why they have 8 games at the start of the noon because no one cares about that. Just overload me with football. Let me get by to the primetime games. Like stop doing that, Fox. You've got to quit. You're ruining
come on, dude. A night game, a whiteout at Penn State. How sick would that be? Yep. Now you got a freaking 11 a.m.
on the on CBS, no less. Beep, 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 beep. Or is it on? Or well,
what is it on?
The Big Ten's or the Big Ten is now CBS, right?
It's on
Yeah.
Fox.
This game is on Fox, yes.
Yeah,
but
This game's on
they're
Fox.
CBS.
Yeah.
their
Yeah,
primetime
yeah.
games would be on CBS. Oh, dude. Yeah, no. You're going to have to change that. Like, that's absurd. We are actually on watch for what game is it? We're 11 a.m. games for Arkansas, Florida. The Kentucky game, we are on watch for a night game. Another night game, possibly, for Kentucky.
That'd be nice.
So
That'd be nice.
it'll be either, let's see. Let's see here. Oh, this one on here, it just says TBD, but it's either the afternoon game or the night game. I just need another night game. What percent are we for today's game? 90.5%. Good. Weren't we like 75% though last game?
Yeah, that's right.
The spread is now at 18.5. It started at 18.5. So 53.5 was the original total. 52.5 is now the over-under. Before we get to that game and the picks, let's do picks of the week.
Recapping.
Recap was last time, but I can recap again. The totals.
Oh yeah, you're right.
14 and 12 is Seth. I am 12, 13 and 1, and Jono is 8 and 13. Last week we did 5 picks. We will do 5 picks again this week. Jono, you were the biggest loser again last week, so you can continue on that streak.
You're gonna say again? You kicked off last week. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it's been a theme. I just happened to take an L last week. Okay.
Are we gonna do any kind of rules where we can't have the same picks at all, or the one can be the same, or is it?
No, because we had a couple of the same last time. We'll try and avoid that, but
okay. We should try to get them in the sheets a little earlier instead of hiding them on row 100.
Actually, let's talk about the last 3 weeks. The fact you didn't even put them in because you were hiding them, so I don't think so. All right, I at least put it in the sheet. You just didn't know where.
Anyways, Boise State is going to beat UNLV. They are currently favored by 3.5. I got them to cover that in Friday night's game.
Did you change that? Because I feel like
that's my first one.
That's the one that I switched to. Okay, I'll switch that one, mine again. Okay, continue.
Just gonna switch all yours as we go.
Well, I have to. Because I had them first, but you guys stole all of them. I had them hidden.
I got LSU over Texas A&M. Texas A&M's, I believe, currently favored by 2.5 points in that game. I also have here BYU over UCF. I like BYU. I think they're playing well. I got Miami to cover versus Florida State, 21 points. I think, like we mentioned, I think Miami's going to come in looking for blood in that game. And then my last one of the night is Colorado to cover the 5.5.
Which Colorado's playing? Who are they playing again?
Colorado's playing UCF at UCF, right? No, BYU.
No.
BYU's playing UCF. Colorado is playing Cincinnati in Colorado.
Cincy, that's right. Okay.
They already played. Colorado played UCF.
That's why I was like, wait a minute. Seth?
That'll make sense. Sorry, I couldn't read mine. It's too small on the screen. I'm going to go Navy plus 13 against Notre Dame. Yeah, I felt like I was taking the underdog in quite a few of these, but Navy plus 13, I think they could hang. Illinois plus 21.5 against Oregon. And we're going to go Penn State minus 6.5 versus Wisconsin.
Stolen. That was when you stole from me. Continue.
Okay. Arizona minus 3.5 versus West Virginia. And then Utah minus 3.5 versus U of H. What, you don't think Arizona at home can do that against West Virginia?
I don't know. But it's Big 12. Like, that's why I try and avoid the Big 12 at all costs. Okay. I have one Big 12 game, but I feel confident in this one. Yeah.
I mean, they're both tied with the same record. I think it's either 3-4 or 4-3.
I did like the Utah one. I had that one as well, but I took that one off for you. So
you're so generous, man.
I know. I'm here for you guys. I am taking Mizzou plus 16.5 over Alabama. I think that line is way too big. I do think Alabama possibly wins. Actually, I don't know with that game. Both those teams have been Jekyll and Hyde. So it'll be interesting to see. I am taking Arkansas -6.5 over Mississippi State. Why? Because they cover. Illinois +2.5 over Oregon. I have that.
Wait, it's 21.5.
Oh, sorry, that's what I was like. 2.5 is crazy.
Oh, so you're taking my pick?
Did you have that one too?
That's my second
Good
pick.
Lord, dude. All right, fine. Hold on. Syracuse +6 over Pitt. I guess we literally had I don't know how that happened because it was only.
If you had put yours on the sheet, I wouldn't have taken them, man.
No, I know. That's perfectly fine. I'm here for you because I want you to pick the losers first.
Okay.
So I have Syracuse +6 over Pitt, Baylor -7 over OK State, and then my last one.
It would be wild if you went 5-0 now, and John and I both just suck it up after changing all your picks.
That's why I'm doing this, and then I'm probably just going to lose out the whole time. So I'm taking out the Illinois game, and I'm inserting. I'm going to write them again. They better not screw me this time. Texas Tech -6.5 against TCU. TCU came away with their win last week somehow miraculously against Utah, but I think Texas Tech comes back. They'll be -6.5 for the game. That's my picks, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, I like it.
All right. Quick recap of conference championships picks. I have SMU, Oregon, OK State, wrong, and Ole Miss, SEC, wrong. Those two are dead. Seth has Miami, Ohio State, Utah, Georgia, and Jono has Clemson, Ohio State, Arizona, Texas. I feel like y'all have I don't know what you're going to do in the Big 12 there. I don't think they're even close. Y'all are in the race for everything else.
We got
Ole
3 in
Miss,
the hunt.
Yeah, y'all have 3. I have 2. So Ole Miss is dead for the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before score predictions?
Nope.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Raise your hands.
I'll go for it, man.
Okay.
I'm going to go 35-13. I keep doing this with my score predictions. Like, my feeling about the game is going to be way more of a come out and just destroy the mentality. But when I come down to picking the score, I pull back and I'm going 35-13 conservatively.
Okay. That's not conservatively, but okay.
I mean, compared to where I am in my head, that's conservative.
Yeah. Conservatively is like 32-28.
I got 38-7 Texas. I think Texas comes out, opens up a big lead in the first half, and then coast to victory with Vandy getting a touchdown in the second half.
Shutting down Pavia. I like it.
Yeah, I actually have 38-10. I'm hesitant on the 38 only because Vanderbilt and what we've talked about, how they love to eat that clock. They just continually will just run the football, run the game clock, control the possession. But I am going 38-10. I do think Texas covers. I do not think they cover the over, but I think it'll be a good football game for us to bounce back on. Defense will step up again. Offense probably. I don't think the offense is going to start slow. I think they've got a full package ready to go. It'd be interesting to see if Texas wins a coin toss if they choose to kick the ball or to take the ball first, just to get out to a quick lead and just jumpstart that. But the way the defense is been playing, maybe you want that jumpstart. Who knows? But
yeah.
I
mean, the thing with this Vanderbilt team that's surprising, like again in the Alabama game, their defense is not ranked very good. Like, their offense has been a showstopper. It's been really great watching Pavia, but their defense is still being Vandy.
Correct.
So I think we really could open up on them. We'll see.
Yep. All right, then. We will not go live this weekend, and then we will have a show on Sunday, and then we'll be off until next Wednesday for the second bye week. Thank God we have 2 bye weeks this year. Whew. It's been a rough stretch. So, you guys have anything else before we jet?
It's gonna be a good get back game. Get our heads straight. I'm tired of this funk I've been in this week.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry,
Yep.
Vandy, you're not going to be taking down the second set of goalposts this week. So Texas coming with that home with that dub. Till then, hook 'em, boys.
No.